What you eat can have a massive impact on your prostate health. That's right, some of your favorite foods could be doing more harm than good. But don't worry, I'm here to help you navigate through it all. And I've got to tell you, the last one on the list might just blow your mind. It's one that most people wouldn't even think twice about. But first, please subscribe to our channel for more content on health tips and wellness. Let's kick off our list with something that's probably in a lot of fridges right now: processed meats. We're talking about the usual suspects: bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and those convenient deli meats. Sure, they're tasty and easy to throw into a sandwich or breakfast plate, but here's the not-so-tasty truth. These meats are packed with preservatives and loaded with sodium. The problem? All that extra sodium and those chemical preservatives can lead to increased inflammation in your body, and we all know inflammation is bad news, especially for your prostate. Over time, this can ramp up your risk of prostate issues, including enlargement and even cancer. So while that bacon might smell amazing, it could be doing more harm than you think. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up your favorite foods completely, but it's worth considering some healthier swaps. Instead of reaching for the processed stuff, try opting for lean, unprocessed meats like chicken, turkey, or fish. Better yet, explore plant-based alternatives. There are some seriously tasty options out there these days that are way better for your prostate. Making these small changes can have a big impact on your long-term health, and your prostate will definitely thank you for it. Next up, let's talk about dairy products. Yes, I'm looking at you, milk, cheese, and butter lovers. While dairy is a staple in many diets, consuming too much of it could spell trouble for your prostate. Research has shown that high levels of calcium, which you get from these dairy products, might be linked to an increased risk of prostate cancer. The theory is that excessive calcium could reduce your body's ability to produce a form of vitamin D that's thought to protect against cancer. So, while that extra cheese on your pizza might taste great, it could be tipping the scales in the wrong direction when it comes to your prostate health. But don't worry, you don't have to ditch dairy entirely. The key here is moderation. Try cutting back on the amount of milk, cheese, and butter you consume daily. And why not give some plant-based alternatives a try? Almond milk, coconut yogurt, or even nut-based cheeses can be delicious substitutes that are kinder to your prostate. These options not only help reduce your dairy intake but also add some variety to your diet. Alright, red meat lovers, this one might hit close to home. We all know that a juicy steak or a perfectly grilled burger can be hard to resist, but here's the deal: eating too much red meat has been linked to an increased risk of prostate cancer. And it's not just the meat itself, it's also about how it's cooked. When red meat is grilled, fried, or cooked at high temperatures, it can form harmful compounds known as heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. These compounds have been shown to cause changes in DNA that might lead to cancer, including in the prostate. So while that barbecue might be a summer highlight, it's worth considering the potential risks. But don't worry, I'm not saying you have to give up red meat altogether. The key here is moderation and making some smart swaps. Try reducing how often you eat red meat and mix up your protein sources with healthier options like fish, which is high in omega-3 fatty acids and great for your heart and prostate. Plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, and tofu are also fantastic alternatives that can keep your meals exciting and your prostate happy. Let's talk about alcohol, something that's often a go-to for unwinding after a long day or celebrating a special occasion. While there's nothing wrong with enjoying a drink now and then, it's important to know that excessive alcohol consumption can take a toll on your prostate health. First off, alcohol is a diuretic, which means it can dehydrate your body. Dehydration can lead to all sorts of issues, including making it harder for your prostate to function properly. And that's not all. Studies have shown that heavy drinking can increase the risk of prostate cancer. So while a cold beer or a glass of wine might be relaxing, too much of it could be doing more harm than good in the long run. So, what's the takeaway? Moderation is key. Instead of reaching for that second or third drink, try cutting back a bit and make sure you're staying hydrated with plenty of water or herbal teas. These drinks not only keep you hydrated but also support your overall health, including your prostate. If you're out with friends or at a social event, consider alternating between alcohol and a non-alcoholic beverage to keep your intake in check. It's all about finding that balance where you can still enjoy yourself without putting your prostate at risk. Alright, coffee lovers, this one's for you. We all love that morning pick-me-up from a hot cup of coffee, but if you're dealing with prostate issues, you might want to think twice before reaching for that second or third cup. Caffeine, whether it's from coffee, tea, or soda, can irritate your bladder and prostate, leading to some pretty uncomfortable symptoms. We're talking about more frequent trips to the bathroom, urgency, and even discomfort. For anyone already dealing with an enlarged prostate or other urinary issues, caffeine can make these symptoms even worse. So while that jolt of energy might feel good in the moment, it could be causing some problems down the line. So, what's the solution? You don't have to give up your beloved coffee entirely, but cutting back could make a big difference in how you feel. Try limiting your intake to just 1 cup in the morning, and swap out the rest with water, herbal teas, or even decaf options. These alternatives can help keep you hydrated without irritating your bladder and prostate. Plus, you might find that with a little less caffeine, you're actually feeling more balanced and less jittery throughout the day. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you can enjoy your coffee without the downsides. Let's talk about spicy foods, the ones that add that extra kick to your favorite dishes. Whether it's hot sauce, jalapenos, or a fiery curry, there's no denying that spice can take your meal to the next level. But here's the catch. If you've got a sensitive prostate, all that heat might not be doing you any favors. Spicy foods can irritate your bladder and prostate, leading to increased urinary symptoms like urgency, frequency, and discomfort. For those already dealing with prostate issues, this can make things a lot more uncomfortable. So while that spicy dish might be tempting, it could be turning up the heat in ways you didn't anticipate. Now, I'm not saying you have to ditch the spice entirely. After all, a little heat can be a lot of fun. But if you notice that spicy foods tend to trigger your symptoms, it might be time to dial it back a bit. Try moderating your intake and balancing those spicy meals with milder options to keep things in check. For instance, you could opt for a milder salsa or use less hot sauce, and pair your spicy dishes with cooling sides like yogurt or cucumber salad. Let's talk about sugar, the sweet stuff that seems to be in just about everything these days. Whether it's in your morning cereal, that midday soda, or your favorite dessert, sugar is hard to avoid. But here's the deal. Consuming too much sugar can lead to some serious problems, especially when it comes to your prostate. High sugar intake can contribute to weight gain and increase inflammation throughout your body, and both of these are bad news for your prostate health. Extra weight puts more pressure on your prostate, and inflammation can exacerbate any existing issues, making things worse in the long run. So while that sugary treat might taste good in the moment, it's worth considering the impact it might have on your health. So, how can you keep your sweet tooth in check? Start by cutting back on sugary foods and drinks, especially those processed snacks and beverages that are loaded with added sugars. Instead, focus on a diet rich in whole foods like vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. And when you're craving something sweet, reach for fruits, nature's candy. Fruits are packed with natural sugars that satisfy your sweet cravings without the added downside of processed sugars. Plus, they come with the added benefits of fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about trans fats, the sneaky villains lurking in many of our favorite processed and fried foods. You'll find these bad guys in things like packaged snacks, fast food, baked goods, and anything that's been deep fried to crispy perfection. While these foods might taste delicious, trans fats are anything but good for you. They've been shown to increase inflammation throughout your body, which is a big no-no when it comes to keeping your prostate healthy. Inflammation can make existing prostate issues worse and even increase the risk of prostate cancer. So, while those crispy fries or that buttery pastry might be tempting, they could be doing some serious damage to your health in the long run. So how do you avoid these sneaky fats? The key is to become a label-reading pro. When you're grocery shopping, take a moment to check the nutrition labels on packaged foods. If you see partially hydrogenated oils listed, that's a red flag. Those are trans fats in disguise. The best move is to steer clear of foods that contain them and opt for healthier fats instead, like those found in avocados, nuts, and olive oil. Not only will this help reduce inflammation, but it'll also give your prostate the support it needs to stay healthy. Making these smarter choices might take a little extra effort, but your body and your prostate will thank you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're new here or haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to Brain Blitz for more health tips, tricks, and insights to keep you feeling your best. I'd love to hear from you too. Did any of these foods surprise you? Or maybe you've got some tips of your own? Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. So there you have it. 8 foods you should definitely avoid if you want to keep your prostate in top shape. From processed meats to sugary snacks, it's clear that what you put on your plate has a huge impact on your overall health, especially when it comes to your prostate. Remember, making smart food choices isn't just about avoiding problems down the road, it's about feeling your best every day. By being mindful of what you eat, you're taking a proactive step toward better health, and trust me, your body will thank you for it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check out our previous video on 10 warning signs of high blood sugar. The last one is more common than you think, it's packed with tips you won't want to miss. Take care, and see you soon.